The eCom Seller Summit was created to prove that with the right tools and training, anyone and everyone can make money in e-commerce. So many people want to try their hand at e-commerce, selling on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and more, but they're afraid they won't be successful. This summit will show you that there's many ways to do e-commerce, and there are many platforms you can explore, because e-commerce really has no limits. It really can pay your bills, and e-commerce never sleeps. There's nothing like waking up to profits from getting sales all night long. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Seller Summit.
Hey everybody, Michelle Burnham-Smith here, and welcome to my session where I'm going to be sharing how you can launch and rank with chatbots in 2021 for your Amazon listings. If we haven't met yet, nice to meet you. I am often called the queen of Amazon chatbots. I have been doing marketing for over 20 years and have worked with many of the Fortune 100 during my corporate years and have been basically using chatbots from the beginning. Have trained literally thousands of Amazon sellers on chatbots. I've personally launched thousands of products and re-ranked another 1,000 of those products. So I've seen it all. My work's been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, and Inc., as well as I've been a featured speaker all over the world, all the major Amazon conferences, including many leading digital marketing conferences such as Traffic and Conversion, which is a huge honor. And I'm excited to be here with you today. So let's chat about chatbots. What are we going to talk about today? First, we're going to talk about what chatbots are and how Amazon sellers use them. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3 powerful strategies for your ranking and product launch campaigns that you can use for your planning as well as your execution for your chatbot campaigns this year. So with that being said, let's talk about a very important question. And most frequently, the biggest question that I frequently get asked is, what the heck are chatbots? What are chatbots? Now, maybe this is your question. Maybe you're wondering, like, I've never heard of chatbots before, or maybe I'm new to all this whole world. What are chatbots, and is it too late for me to get started with them? Let me answer that second question. It is not too late. There is plenty of opportunities still to be had, and there's huge opportunities for you to take advantage of with chatbots. So what the heck are chatbots? Basically, they are automated one-on-one communication. And what's so great about chatbots is that people can literally interact with your business without you having to do anything. Chatbots originated from the customer support realm, where businesses were tired of answering the same questions over and over again. And so they created chatbots to help them handle at least the most frequently asked questions and to automate as much as possible that customer support experience. And in 2017, Facebook basically turned their messenger platform into an opportunity for businesses to be able to communicate with customers. And previous to that, it was just a peer-to-peer platform where you and I could chat, or me and my mom could chat, that sort of thing. But in 2017, Facebook opened it up so that businesses could have communication and be able to build up subscribers just like an email system would, like you have your own email list. And so chatbots became basically that similar kind of situation. So how do chatbots work exactly? How you are going to use chatbots from a marketing perspective is you are going to use Facebook ads to drive traffic to ManyChat, which is the chatbot platform of choice, my choice. And they're truly the pioneers in the space for building marketing chatbots on Facebook. And from your ManyChat chatbots, you are going to drive traffic to your Amazon listings. And then those customers, as they convert, have the opportunity to join your ManyChat subscriber list as well via things like product inserts or remarketing campaigns on Facebook. So it all can become this subscriber base of people who are interested in your brand and excited about your products. So how do Amazon sellers use chatbots? Well, there's really 4 key areas. First is for launching new products. and using chatbots to help get to basically the front of the store during a product launch. Also, Amazon sellers use them for re-ranking existing listings, harvesting reviews from their Amazon buyers, and brand building and list building. Those are kind of the core areas. And there's more applications, but these are really the 4 main areas that most Amazon sellers use chatbots. So, enough questions for me. I have some questions for you. So I want you to answer these questions to yourself. First question, are you planning to launch any new products this year? I certainly hope so. After 2020, the consumer mindset has drastically shifted towards all things e-commerce, and never has there been a better and more important time to offer your products via e-commerce. Another question, do you have existing listings on Amazon that you wish were performing better? Are there keywords that you are aware of, or maybe even not aware of, that you are not taking advantage of? I hope the answer to all these questions is yes. I have yet to meet an Amazon seller where at least the last 2 questions are not a resounding yes. Of course, you want your listings to be performing better. Of course, there's keywords that you can and should be taking advantage of that maybe you aren't, or maybe you're not even aware of. So I want you to imagine if you could launch new products with more easily, with less expense, have it stick longer for your desired keywords, and that you could also re-rank your existing listings more easily and target new keywords in those campaigns. So that is basically what we're going to talk about today. And of course, ranking higher for those keywords that you're already ranked for. So maybe if you're on page 2, getting to page 1, if you're on the bottom of page 1, getting to the top, those are all things that you can do with chatbots. So let's dive into the elements of successful ranking and launching chatbots. The first thing to understand are the basics of launching and ranking. And let me just make myself smaller and get out of the way here. So ranking is determined, your listing ranking is determined by a 90-day rolling sales history via the A9 algorithm, Amazon's main algorithm. And from there, it's really important to understand that it's easier to move and rank from pages 2 and beyond than it is to move from the bottom of page 1 to the top of page 1. And by pages, we're talking about mobile pages. Like basically, position 20 and under is page 1, and anything position 21 and higher is off of page 1. And so it's really easy to get basically from the bottom of page 1 from those other pages, because really when it comes down to it, if you're not on page 1, you might as well not be existing at all, right? Maybe you've heard the joke, like the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2, because nobody goes there unless you're in the fashion space where people are maybe trying to find this specific shirt or, have their own taste. But most of the time, if somebody's searching for a garlic press, typical consumer behavior is to pick something from page 1, and usually the top of page 1. That's how they go. Now, it is important to note, though, that desktop pages, like somebody's searching from their laptop or their desktop or whatever it might be, the results vary between position 20 and 50. So you might be thinking like, oh, I'm looking at my listing and I'm on position 34 on page 1. Well, guess what? If you were looking on your mobile device, you would be in the middle of page 2. So it's important to understand these are the ground rules in which we're looking at determining page 1 versus off of page 1. So let's talk about product launches. You'll notice here I have this lovely picture of probably a couple having a romantic dinner on the beach, maybe on their honeymoon. And a honeymoon is a really important concept to understand as it relates to new product launches, because there is a honeymoon period when it comes to launching on Amazon. So what is that honeymoon period? Basically, 21 days after your listing goes live on Amazon is your honeymoon period. Remember how we talked about ranking is determined by a 90-day sales history. Well, the first 21 days are the most crucial time to rank and get your initial reviews. That does all of the work for you and setting the trajectory for how your listing is going to perform now and in the future. It's also the easiest time to rank. You don't have any kind of sales history holding you back or any kind of out of stock scenarios that have affected your rank. It's the best time and the easiest time to basically go from the back of the store to the front. So, but remember, it's harder to stay there long term, because if you think about it from a consumer perspective, you look on page one, you're looking for making a decision based on the position as well as social proof. And it's more likely that those people who are on page one have a higher amount of reviews. And when you're launching a new product, you don't have a ton of reviews right away. And so it's definitely harder to stick product launches and ranking longer term without that influx of reviews coming in. Comparing a product with 20 reviews versus a product with 2,000 reviews, you have to think, what would you pick as a consumer? So another thing to understand is ranking or re-ranking, also called relaunching. And it's this whole idea that okay, I've launched, but now I've slid down the rankings. What can I do? Well, have no fear. You can always re-rank. So let's talk about some misconceptions as it relates to your ranking. This one is a common one. The idea that when I launch my new product, that's the only chance I have to influence rank. Absolutely not. We re-rank listings all the time. All the time. In fact, in your Amazon journey, as it relates to chatbots, the majority of your time is going to be spent in re-ranking campaigns. Another misconception. I'm on page 2. That's good enough. Remember my joke? The best place to hide a dead body is on page 2. It's because nobody goes there. Page 2 is not good enough. And you'll definitely see a sales volume difference if you get to go from page 2 to page 1. Another misconception is, well, I'm well ranked for these keywords. I hit my daily sales targets, no problem. Well, the reality is with Amazon, keywords are the name of their game. If you ask the question of Amazon, what do you sell? They're not going to be talking about waffle irons and garlic presses. What they sell and what Amazon has for sale are keywords. So the more keywords that you are ranked well and positioned well for, the higher likelihood of success for you and your listings. So how do we position ourselves for that success? It really comes down to your keyword strategy. Notice how we haven't even talked about chatbots yet. We haven't even peeled back the layers and gotten into kind of the tactical, how do I create a chatbot? It's because your keyword strategy is going to determine how successful your campaign is. And so I want to talk about the 3 keyword strategies that you need to know for keyword selection for your campaign. So the first is called low-hanging fruit. And basically, this is where you are analyzing keyword data and we're talking about in a re-ranking campaign scenario here. If this is a brand new product launch for you, then we are not going to be talking, this is not a technique that you are going to use. You're going to hang tight. And there's things that you can learn here. And apply to your new product launches. But basically, low-hanging fruit is any time where you are ranked basically from position 21 and on. You're off page 1, essentially, page 1 mobile, and you want to get you onto page 1. So using a keyword research tool, in this example, this is Helium 10's Cerebro. This is a reverse ASIN lookup. So essentially, we're taking your ASIN, in this instance, a client's ASINs, and plugging it into Helium 10 Cerebro to identify keywords that we want to rank for. And you'll notice here a couple of filters that I have in place. I'm not interested in small keywords. I want at least 1,000 search volume per month. And you can play around with this, you can go higher or lower per your preference. But my organic rank is basically set between position 21 and 100. I want to see what my options are. I also have word count, minimum, basically at least one keyword, meaning that it doesn't have to be 2 words to make up a keyword. So you'll see here, the client's product is an exfoliating solution, exfoliating item. And so what we are looking for here are keywords that are going to, where we're not very high ranked, but we're got some good search volume going on. So in this example, I've got loofah at 73,000 searches per month, 73,000, and we are organically ranked in position 61. So we're not completely off the map, but we have some work to do to rank for this. This is a huge opportunity. Who knew that loofah was so popular, right? Also, exfoliator down here at the bottom, 13,000 monthly searches. That still is a great amount, but look at our position. We're just barely off page 1, just barely. So, from a campaign standpoint, and I would recommend going through all the keyword data and really, removing stuff that's not applicable, or maybe that has brand names in it that you don't have, a trademark for. No use trying to rank for a keyword that you don't own the keyword, the ranking keyword for. Don't want you to get in trouble with the Amazon brand police. But looking at your keyword data just at a glance, and when I spend time on keyword data, guys, I'm going to be honest, I spend hours scouring and going through and picking the right keywords for our campaigns, because I want to make sure that we're targeting the right keywords and can position ourselves for the best success possible. So these are just at a glance, these are the kind of the target keywords that we would be targeting in our campaign, like loofah and exfoliator. Any of these keywords would be fantastic, would be really great. But this has a really high buyer intent, and especially where we have like an exfoliating item, and we're just barely off of that page 2. And this, I can't ignore this kind of search volume. This is just really a really sexy keyword from a search volume standpoint. And we're definitely within striking distance. So that's an example of, low hanging fruit, and looking at the keywords that maybe that you're missing, but could easily, get positioned for. So that's kind of the first strategy, is low hanging fruit. The second strategy is what I call above the fold, where you're basically identify what keywords you are positioned between 10 and 20 on page 1. So anywhere where you're basically on the bottom of page 1, where you want to move to the top. Now, remember what I told you earlier, where it's easier to move from page 2 to the bottom of page 1 than it is from the bottom of page 1 to the top of page 1. Why? Because page 1 is where the velocity is. That's where the players are. That's where the money is made, and where customers are shopping. So it's definitely, this is definitely a strategy that you need to do secondarily. I would spend more time on the low hanging fruit and then work on above the fold there. Get your listings positioned onto page 1 and then get them up page 1. So here's an example of that. So once again, using Cerebro, all we did here was change our organic rank filter. So now we're looking at positions 10 to 20, where we're on that bottom of page 1, where we need to move up. Now, this keyword I really liked. It had a good amount of search volume, and we were on the bottom of page 1, where moving up some slots would make a big difference. Some of you might wonder, well, why not body scrubber? And I'm like, I like body scrubber. We're organically ranked at 12. It wouldn't take too much to move to position 10, but I will tell you that this position 17 is going to be a bigger jump and make a bigger difference in organic sales than moving from position 12 to position 10 would. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now a very important part of your keyword strategy is understanding if you have the inventory in place to be able to rank for a target keyword. So if you remember my low-hanging fruit keyword of loofah, 73,000 monthly searches, but look at how many sales basically I need to make over an 8-day period to have the right to hang out on page 1 with all of the other major listings that are selling there. Over 700 sales per month for that target keyword. Now imagine if I'm a seller and I only have 1,000 products in stock. or even available. And when I say available, I mean like in hand, could easily be shipped into Amazon. I'm not saying it's on a boat somewhere making its way across, because what we don't want to do is play the in and out of stock game. So it's really important when you're doing your keyword selection to keep inventory in mind and really go after those keywords that you have a right to rank for. I remember a couple of years ago, a gentleman came up to me after an event that I spoke at and he said, chatbots don't work for me. I was curious and I was like, well, what happened? And he's like, well, I was trying to rank for, my target keyword was shock collar. They had a shock collar. And I was like, okay, well, what kind of volume did that shock collar have? And he said, it was all of this. It was just this huge keyword, and it required 1,500 giveaways. And I was like, oh, wow. How much inventory did you have? He's like, I had 500. I was like, dude. Like, you do not want to blow through all of your inventory trying to rank for a keyword. In fact, most of the time I recommend that you only spend less than 25% of your available inventory on a keyword. And so it's really, he didn't stand a chance in ranking for that keyword because he did not have the inventory available. And so that's why it's so important that as you are picking your target keywords, that you consider that inventory, the amount of inventory you have available is a crucial contributor to making your decision. And that's why I love this third strategy, which is what I call halo effect keyword strategy. Basically, with halo effect, you're going to be identifying high volume keywords that are out of reach from an inventory perspective. So remember loofah as an example. What you're going to do is find long tail keywords with shared search terms. So, and if you're re-ranking for that keyword, you want to already be positioned at least between position 21 and 55. You don't want to be going after keyword that you're going to have to be doing the big long slog from no man's land up to be able to get some traction with that big keyword. It's a little bit different when you're product launching because you don't have, that sales history. You can really make bigger jumps in a shorter period of time with these halo effect keywords. So let's talk about what this looks like. So remember loofah. Now we opened up Helium 10's magnet keyword search tool, which is basically you can type in any search term. And typically what I will do is do an advanced filter where I will plug in the keyword saying this keyword, like any keywords that I'm looking at, have to contain this keyword. Okay. And I found some really great ones. And what we're looking at here is search volume and then the number of giveaways. And usually I sort based on search volume. So loofah for women is a really great high volume keyword, but it's expensive. It's expensive from an inventory standpoint. Exfoliating loofah, you remember that I actually had two keywords that I was interested in, loofah and then exfoliating or exfoliator. What I love about this keyword is it's kind of like, maybe I can hit, kill two birds with one stone here and really go after it. It still is a really great volume, a really great high search volume keyword in general. But the amount of daily giveaways or amount of giveaways that I would have to do over an 8-day period are really low. So this one is definitely one of my targets. And then I like this other one down here as well, the loofah exfoliating body scrubber. You remember body scrubber from my bottom of page 2 to top? Like I think we're in position 12 for. Really great opportunity there as well. So for my ManyChat campaign then, my chatbots, I'm going to plug these keywords into my calls to action, which we'll talk about next, to drive that traffic and to get halo effect for those keywords. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, yeah, but 73,000 monthly searches. That's a lot. You really think you can get there by targeting a 1,700 volume keyword? Yes, I can. So let me show you. Here's an example. For this client, the target campaign, the keyword that we sent our traffic through, that we used in the campaign, was unicorn gifts for girls. And you'll see here that, we started the campaign down here, got some really great traction fairly quickly, and through the course of the campaign was able to, get some good positioning. Now, when you look at this unicorn gifts, this was our halo effect keyword. This was not the one that we were targeting directly, but because we had traction with unicorn gifts for girls, which had the shared search term of unicorn gifts, you can see how well those keywords tracked. Here's another example. Here we have Microderm Machine Professional, has almost 4,000 monthly searches, and basically we started the campaign in position 61 and ended the campaign position 1. Okay, very successful campaign all the way around. Now, but this was our target keyword. Look at over 41,000 monthly searches. This is the one we wanted to get ranked for. And you can see we didn't target it directly, but you can see it had a very similar pattern where we started in position 66, and by the end of the campaign, we're in position 8. So this is the power of halo effect. And by going through all 3 of those steps of identifying your low-hanging fruit keywords, and then going through and identifying your above the fold keywords, and then going out and looking at halo effect opportunities. Once you've identified like those big bad keywords that you really want to go after, then looking at halo effect keywords for you to plug into your campaign to target those. That's really kind of the process. And every single client that I've ever worked with, that we have taken on, we go through this process because this is so crucial. You might be thinking, yeah, but you're like a chatbot expert. Why are you spending all this time here? Because if we aren't putting the correct keywords in place inside those chatbots, our campaigns are going to fail every single time. Everything can work correctly inside of the chatbot, but if we don't have the right strategy, it doesn't matter. And we've wasted a whole bunch of inventory. So this is why strategy is so crucial and so important for your chatbot campaigns. Okay, one last thing that I want you to be aware of when it comes to chatbot campaigns is that you need to catch the wave early. Meaning if there's any kind of seasonality to your product that you have keywords that you want to take advantage of, you want to rank for those early. So we just got through the biggest holiday shopping season for Amazon in the history of Amazon ever. And the time for running ranking campaigns is not on Black Friday. The time for running ranking campaigns is late October and early November. You want to get on top of that wave, not be crushed by it. And if we were to start running a ranking campaign, right when search volume is heading upwards, we're going to be chasing those search volume numbers and try to be hitting daily sales that are just skyrocketing, right? So you need to look at your listings, and you can go back in your brand analytics and see if there's any kind of seasonality to when you sell. And ideally, the time to get in position is at least 2 weeks in advance, 2 weeks before it really starts to ramp up. So keep that in mind. All right, so here's some action items that I want you to take. You can take a screenshot of this page, but I want you to do these activities. I want you to identify 5 to 10 keywords that you want to rank for. You don't have to you're not going to target all of them, but these are the kind of main keywords that are of interest to you for your listings. The ideal search volume, at least in Helium 10, is over 1,500 searches per month. And you want to pick keywords that you can afford from an inventory standpoint. Remember, keep in mind that inventory you need to have in hand, not on a boat somewhere, not just leaving the factory. Like, you need to have it available because you don't want to play the in and out of stock game. That can totally decimate your ranking. And you want to use halo effect to target your high volume search terms indirectly. So you can go after and target, you can dream of loofah and hit those keywords that you can afford to help you reach the goal of getting higher up on that loofah positioning. And then you want to rank at least 2 weeks in advance of peak buying times. These are all kind of the important points that you need to know and understand for your campaigns. All right. The next thing for you need to know is what kind of campaign to actually use, right? We talked strategy. Let's get into the tactical. Something that's really important for you to understand when it comes to ranking campaigns is that one size does not fit all. You might hear from some guru in some Facebook group that you have to be doing search, find, buy rebates. But here's the reality is that there are so many elements that affect the type of campaign that you should choose. So let's talk about what those campaign factors are. Some of these factors include whether it's a new product or an existing listing. You need to know what your listing performance is for your target keywords. That can definitely affect it. That affects more than anything the type of campaign that you should choose and run. Your inventory availability is huge on the keywords that you're actually going to select, like we've discussed. Whether you're using cold traffic or an existing list, if you already have a list that knows, likes, and trusts your brand. And also in recent weeks, if you're in the EU, a lot of sellers are in the EU targeting Amazon.com, and there are some new data privacy laws in place that can affect the performance of your campaigns. So it's important for you to understand that for chatbots, there are two types of calls to action. There are URLs, what we call two-step or keyword URLs, and search, find, buy campaigns. And search, find, buy campaigns are basically where you're sending your subscriber on a treasure hunt to find your Amazon listing. So keyword URLs are basically keyword or URLs with these keywords embedded in them. They mimic search, and when to use them is for new product launches, when you're way out in no man's land, or when you're ranked further than 2 mobile search result pages from your target keyword. So basically position 40 and beyond for your ideal keyword. And if you have parent-child ASIN variations. And if you want to split traffic between multiple keywords. So I've shown you some campaigns where it's like, oh, I would like these 2 keywords for this campaign. It would be a great time to use a keyword URL. So let's show you how these work. So on the right is your typical chatbot user experience. So in this example, we're giving them a coupon code. We're clicking on shop now, and you'll notice that we're using a URL that plugs in shoe deodorizer, and the only results that actually show up on the Amazon search result page is your product. It's really great. People aren't distracted. It's very easy to use, really great and easy user experience, which we love. Very easy for customers to get to find your product, basically. So here's a question though. Do URLs still work? If you've been in this or around this for any period of time, you're going to hear people say, oh, keyword URLs, they don't work anymore. Au contraire. Just within very recent times, we've launched new products, and you can see these are new products that have no existing sales history, this particular product. And it shot up from position 182 when we started the campaign all the way up to here, eventually getting to, page 1, all done with a URL. Here's another example. Off in no man's land for, I think it was this one where we started the campaign. So way down here and shot up to position just below position 11 right here using a URL. Here's another example from one of the campaigns that I showed you previously. Look at this. They're way the heck down in position 216, and using a keyword URL got up to position 1. So this is an example of why it's really important to test and not just go off of necessarily what everybody's telling you, myself included. But this is the power of keyword URLs. They can be very, very effective. So it's better for you to just test it for yourself. Start off with keyword URLs and then switch to search, find, buy when it makes sense. So let's talk about that next. Search, find, buy. What actually is it? When to use it? Search, find, buy campaigns, because they mimic search in the organic search experience so well, it's best to use it when you are currently ranked within 2 mobile search result pages of your target keyword or from position 40 and below. It's best to use for a single ASIN, not parent-child, and best for super deep discounts, because you're going to make people work. They're going to go through and they're going to search and they're going to be looking and trying to do what it is you're asking them to do. If you think they're going to do that for like 15% off, They're not going to do it. It's got to be a really attractive offer to get people to do the work that you need them to do. It's also really important to keep instructions simple. There's enough distractions going on Amazon that you don't want them bouncing around having to do a million different things. You really want them to focus. And the best way to do that is to keep the instructions simple. So in this example, we're pasting in some keywords from chatbot and going through the search results. And this is the typical search find buy experience is copying those search results, copying the keyword, and then searching until they finally see the product that you want them to click on. So here's the product. Here's the chatbot user experience. They click on go to Amazon. They paste that keyword into the search results. And now they're searching. And you can see, I hope you can tell as well, that all the search results kind of like blend together after a while. It all kind of looks the same. So that's why it's really important to keep it really simple, because it's easy for people to get lost or distracted or just be like, give up and go and buy toilet paper instead, which is a waste of your money unless you're selling toilet paper. Okay, so hopefully you understand at this point what we're talking about with these chatbots, how they look, how they work. Now from here, it's important to understand the ManyChat platform, because this is how you're actually going to use and work with these chatbots. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this training on diving into each one of these templates. It's important for you to know that when I first started training people in early 2018 on how to use chatbots, they were a lot easier to use back then. But chatbots have become quite complex. What people need them to do with, whether it's like automated rebate campaigns where you're doing automatic order verifications and have a bunch of automated things that require quite a bit of development to get them to work, those types of things can be very overwhelming. And so for the most part, nowadays, I don't tell Amazon sellers to try to build chatbot flows from scratch. I say, find a trusted template provider and use their templates, because they know what they're doing. They know about terms of service requirements from Facebook Messenger, from Facebook ads, from ManyChat, from Amazon. And they're putting that all together to create a trusted experience for you and a very good user experience for customers. So at this point, I definitely, instead of going through these step by step, I would rather you check out easybot.com, where you can, get all those templates and plug them in yourself very easily. So just to sum up and just to review today, what we've discussed, we talked about what chatbots are and how Amazon sellers use them. I've shared with you 3 powerful strategies for your ranking and product launch campaigns. And if you want to try your hand at a chatbot, I have a free one here for you. This is our omni-channel contest, and it helps you to increase your emails and your SMS contact information and build up your ManyChat subscribers. And you have access to this for free. Just go to pixelfy.me/omnichannel. And that's a great place for you to get started. You can also go to easybot.com, where we have a $1 trial going on, where you can get started with EasyBot for only $1. So be sure to check that out as well. And I hope if you have any questions that you reach out to us at, you can email me at michelle@easybot.com for any more information about all things chatbots. I'm happy to assist you there. Thanks so much and have a great day.